Is your pellet grill swinging wild, flashing an error code, or sitting there with a dead dark screen? Most folks point straight at the controller and drop $120 on a new one. But the controller is the last thing that actually fails. It's the brain of your grill, the board on the hopper that reads the temperature and runs the auger, igniter, and fan to hold your set point. Stick with me for a few minutes, and you'll learn what it is, why it fails, how to protect it, and how to tell a bad board from a much cheaper problem before you spend a dime. Safety first. Unplug the grill and let it cool completely. There's 120 volts running behind this panel, so never open it up or touch the wiring with the grill still plugged in. Before you fix it, you have to know what it does. And this little panel is doing a lot more than showing a number. Meet the controller. You'll also hear it called the control board, the PID controller, or the Wi-Fi controller. It's the panel on your hopper, and it's the brain of the whole grill. It reads the temperature and cycles the auger, igniter, and fan to hold your set point. When it goes, nothing else can do its job. Start with the display. This is your window into the cook. It shows the temperature you set, the actual grill temperature, and your meat probe reads, all at a glance. Next, the temperature dial. This is how you tell the grill what you want, from a low smoke setting all the way up to high. You turn it, and the board takes over from there. Then the control buttons. Power and prime are obvious, but the one to know is the P-set. It fine-tunes how often the auger feeds during a low and slow smoke. And behind the panel, the real worker, the PID board. It reads the probe and drives the auger, igniter, and fan, adjusting constantly to hold your temperature. Display, dial, buttons, and board. One brain running the entire cook. Here's where it goes wrong. And for a sealed-up circuit board, the threats come down to two things: water and bad information. Number one is moisture. Rain and humidity work their way into the board and corrode the connections. Leave your grill uncovered or store it somewhere damp, and over time you get erratic readings, phantom errors, or a board that just goes dark. Number two is wild temperature swings. A failing board, or bad reads from the probe it relies on, makes it over or underfeed the fire. The grill lurches hot and cold and starts throwing error codes. The tricky part is telling whether it's really the board. And that's the thing to understand. The controller gets blamed for everything, but it's the last part that actually fails. Most bad controller calls are really a drifting temperature probe, a clogged fire pot, or a loose plug. Rule out the cheap stuff first, because this is the priciest part on the grill, and usually it's innocent. The good news is, the controller is easy to protect. 3 simple habits keep it alive for years. Habit 1. Keep it covered. Water is the #1 killer of control boards, so whenever the grill is parked, put a fitted cover on it and store it somewhere dry. 30 seconds of habit buys you years of board life. Habit 2. Reseat the plugs. Once a season, with the grill unplugged, pull each wiring connector and push it back until it clicks. Vibration works plugs loose over time, and a loose connector looks exactly like a dead board. Reseating it is a free fix. Habit 3. Wipe it down. After a messy cook, give the panel a dry cloth wipe. Never spray cleaner near the buttons. Keeping grease out of the keypad and vents keeps the controls responsive. So your grill's acting up? Let's figure out what it's telling you, starting with the cheapest, easiest checks. First sign, a totally dead screen. You hit power and get nothing. No display, no fan, no sound. Good news, this is usually power, not the board. Check the outlet and cord, reset the GFCI or breaker, reseat the power plug, and try a known good outlet before you suspect anything expensive. Next, error codes and temperature swings. The grill overshoots and crashes, or the screen flashes a code like ERH or LER. Don't blame the board yet. Look the code up in your manual, then check the temperature probe and the fire pot first. Those cause most of these errors. Top of the ladder, it's still glitchy after every check. You've ruled out the probe, cleaned the fire pot, reseated the plugs, and it still won't behave. Pull the panel and look at the board. Scorched or corroded traces, or just persistent erratic behavior, mean now it's finally the controller. A couple of common questions before you go. First, can I upgrade my controller? Often yes. A lot of grills accept an upgraded board that holds temperature tighter and adds app control. Just make sure it's listed for your exact make and model before you buy. Second, how do I tell the controller from the probe? Simple rule. If the readings are wrong but the screen still works, it's almost always the temperature probe. A truly dead or glitchy panel is the board itself. Last, are controllers universal? They're not. The connectors, the cutout, and the firmware are all matched to your grill. Order by make and model so it bolts in and talks to your auger, fan, and igniter correctly. Before you order, find your grill's data plate. It's usually on the back or underside of the hopper, sometimes inside the hopper lid or under the barrel. Snap a photo of the make, model, and serial number so you order the exact controller that fits the first time. Then head to stovepartsforless.com and pick your manufacturer, then your model. Every controller on that page is guaranteed to fit your grill. No guessing on connectors, no wrong part returns. And it ships the same day. That's the controller. Protect it from water, rule out the cheap stuff before you blame it, and it'll run your cooks for years. We stock controllers and control boards for every major brand. If this helped, subscribe and hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next part.